This is the Nintendo Switch, the dock, and a soundbar. Hi, welcome to our channel all about home electronics. So in this video, we're going to show you how to listen to the sound from your Nintendo Switch through a soundbar when you're playing the Nintendo Switch on a big screen TV like this one right here. So if you're not already a subscriber to this channel, please hit the free subscription button at the bottom right of the screen. Anytime we publish new tips in the future, you'll get notified, and we're going to start right after this. To begin, it's important to know that the Nintendo Switch outputs a 5.1 linear PCM channel through the HDMI connector on the back of the Nintendo Switch dock. We're going to show you a slide that comes from the Nintendo website. Now, in our example here, we've connected an HDMI cable that's rated high speed. And the reason that we're using a high-speed rated HDMI cable is to make sure you have access to all the Nintendo Switch features. When you're listening and playing your Nintendo Switch on a bigger screen and you want to hear it through a surround sound bar. Now, we're not familiar with every sound bar that's out there, and we're not familiar with every feature and connection point on the back of every TV that's out there. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you a few different cabling connections in hopes that one of them is going to work for your equipment setup. Now what you're looking at on your video screen is the back of our example TV and two HDMI ports. One of them is labeled ARC, and it already has a high-speed HDMI cable plugged in. The other end of that same HDMI high-speed wire is connected to the ARC-enabled HDMI output on the back of this example soundbar. If that's how you connect your TV to your soundbar, then connecting the Nintendo Switch dock is going to be very simple. If the ARC feature between your soundbar and your TV is already working, then one wiring option is simply to hook the other end of the HDMI that comes from the back of your Nintendo Switch dock into an available HDMI port on the back of your soundbar. Or another option is you can plug the other end of the HDMI that comes out of the Nintendo Switch dock into an available HDMI port either on the side of your TV or on the back. If your TV is not connected to a soundbar using an ARC-enabled HDMI connection, or you haven't been able to make it work, there's one other alternative, and that is simply leaving the dock plugged into an available port on the back of your TV like we just showed, and then looking for an optical output on your television like the one pictured here. Now you'll notice there's a white and a red, and you could use that connection as well to your soundbar. That's not going to transmit that 5.1 linear channel PCM signal. It's only going to transmit a left and right stereo signal, but now we're going to make an optical connection here. Now, I don't know if you can see this on your screen or not. The connection port is a very unique shape, so you need to make sure that you line up your Toslink optical cable properly in order to seat it in this port. This is a Toslink optical cable. You're actually looking at both ends of the cable. Sometimes when you buy them brand new, they have plastic protective covers on the ends, and you'll want to remove those gently and then line it up and press it into the port. You'll tend to hear a click or a snap. The back of this example soundbar has the Toslink optical input. They happen to label it TV. When you plug into this port, you will need to switch the input using your soundbar remote to TV or to the optical port, the digital port. Line the other end of that Toslink wire up and press it into place. Now that you've completed your cabling connections, let's go over some of the settings. We need to start with the settings on the soundbar first, then the television, and finally the Nintendo Switch itself. The first thing we recommend, if your soundbar allows you, set it to surround sound. If you connected your Nintendo Switch directly to your soundbar, then you need to switch the input on your soundbar to the HDMI port you plugged into. In the case of our example soundbar, we plugged into HDMI port 1 and we'll switch to that. However, if you chose wiring configuration option number 2 and plugged your Nintendo Switch dock directly into your TV's HDMI port, and if you have the ARC enabled feature working, then switch the input on your soundbar to, in this case, TV. Now, if you happen to use the third option, whereby you connected your Nintendo Switch directly to your TV, but your TV does not have working ARC, and you want to transmit the audio signal over that digital Toslink, switch your soundbar input, in this case, over to digital coaxial. Now we're going to take a look at TV settings. We're pressing the menu button using our TV remote control, and we're going to go to Input Settings. And we notice that our TV picked up our example soundbar, which is a Yamaha YAS-706. It's plugged into the ARC port because the soundbar is ARC enabled and our ARC feature is working. However, if you connected your Nintendo Switch directly to the TV, then you would want to switch your TV to HDMI 2 so that you can see the Nintendo Switch appear on your display. Lastly, we want to check an audio setting. And we're going to scroll down to digital audio output. So if in the third cabling configuration you connected a Toslink audio cable, you would want to make sure that this setting is set to PCM like we discussed at the beginning of the video. And finally, there's one audio setting on the Nintendo Switch that we need to take a look at. We're going to scroll down to TV settings and then over to the right and then down again to TV sound and select this. Now in our example you see that mono is selected. We don't want mono, we want surround sound. Now you could in fact choose the automatic so that if you travel with your Nintendo Switch, which is really what it's designed to do, that would work out as well. But for example purposes on this video, we're leaving it on surround sound. So that ends this video. If you stay tuned, in just a moment we're going to show you one scenario where you would not be able to connect your Nintendo Switch to a soundbar. That'll come after the wrap of this video, which is actually over. That ends this video on how to connect your Nintendo Switch to a soundbar. If the video helped you or you liked it, please hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to check out some of our other videos. Stay tuned and have a great day. In this example, this is the back of a Sonos Beam soundbar and the back of a television. Now this TV only has one HDMI input and the Sonos Beam only has one HDMI input. There's nowhere to plug the Nintendo Switch into either the soundbar or the TV.